All right, welcome to another episode of StarNotes. Man, this is another special episode. I wouldn't say maybe kind of special, but anyway, not your usual host. My name is Ethan Gonzalez. I'm the sports editor. I also have a sports podcast. Go check that out, All-Star Husky Sports Podcast. Anyway, today I am with my beautiful friends here. Please introduce yourselves.
All right, so I am Skyler Casellas. I am a sports reporter here at the Northern Star, and this is my boss right here. So
Yes, sir.
I'm
And
here
then
for work.
this schmuck right here.
My name is Mike Molson. I'm the written managing editor. So, yeah.
Yes,
What
today
to say?
we are very excited to be talking about one of the hottest TV shows out right now. We're going to be talking about season 2 of...
And this is where you put the title card.
Yes. You put the title card where it says Invincible, and then, yes, Invincible. All right. So, we're not going to go into a really in-depth recap of the entire thing right now, because I'm guessing most of this will be for the Invincible fans that want to hear about us talk about it. So, we're going to go into the premise of Season 2 and then our big reactions of the season finale, which did just air last night at 2 a.m. Central, but it's out now, Thursday, April 4th. So.
And I've got your premise right here.
Mhm.
This is straight off the Invincible Wildcat, so I'm not winging it in any way, shape,
Yes.
or form. So Invincible is an adult animated superhero show that revolves around Mark Grayson, a normal teenager except for the fact that his father is the most powerful superhero on the planet. Shortly after his 17th birthday, Mark begins to develop powers of his own and enters into his father's tutelage.
Yes. So, his father is Omni-Man. Mark Grayson is Invincible. Two invincible superheroes, except Mark gets his ass beat a lot.
Yep.
Anyway.
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. So, why don't we start with just like a quick rundown of season 2 to see where we're at now, because season 1 is kind of in the rearview mirror. So,
Yeah.
Michael, please.
No, Skyler, this is 100% you.
Okay.
Go for it. You're going to be better explaining this.
All right,
Let's
so
go through big villain arcs first.
Oh, yeah, we can go through the big villain arcs first. So the biggest one of Season 2, this is going to be the first one we meet of Season 2, is going to be Angstrom Levy.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone said Angstrom Levy. It's Levy.
Levy?
Same
Okay,
show.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, this is a bit after the Season 1 finale where Omni-Man and Invincible fought. And then anyone who's watched the show knows how it ends. Invincible gets his ass kicked, and then Omni-Man flies away, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And so we're introduced to Angstrom Levy, and we start in an alternate universe where Invincible and Omni-Man instead joined forces to take over the Earth, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, before Angstrom Levy of that universe is about to be killed by Invincible and Omni-Man, as Angstrom Levy in that universe is part of a revolution to stand up against them, he's taken into a portal. And just a long story short, so the Angstrom Levy of the universe the show takes place in has gathered all of his counterparts from the other dimensions into one area so that he can accomplish his goal of bringing world peace. And his methodology behind that is that, each of his counterparts knows what it's going to take to bring peace to their respective worlds. And what he wants to do is kind of merge all those thoughts into his brain, right? And so he recruits these two villains called the Mauler twins, who are basically these stone skin guys.
Yeah. And they're very smart, like scientists, but they're criminals.
Yeah, pretty much. So they build a big machine, and then basically the machine's purpose is to accomplish Angstrom Levy's goal of putting all his counterparts, like having all their minds hooked up to this machine, and then the main Angstrom Levy is going to have all his thoughts put into his head. But then, cut to see the first episode when Invincible tries to stop that. Things go wrong, the machine malfunction, and basically all the counterparts are killed, and the main Angstrom Levy is just mutated into this very,
big brained. Like, he's got all the memories of each Angstrom Levy from every universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if he got a really big head and then just dipped his head in the pool for 50 years.
Yeah,
It's
it's like super
wrinkly.
pruny. Yeah, right.
It's important to note, too, the reason that this all happened, too, that he became this villain, right? Like, he's having these issues, right, where he's cutting in and out of different memories because he has all of them in there.
Yeah.
Is also just because, Invincible did come to try and, stop this, and the Mauler, twin, of all the different universes, too, I think,
Yeah, because
tried to stop him, and he pulled the helmet off right before everything was about to happen, because he said he didn't want to
Build his
He
universe.
didn't want to build his universe
Right.
out of blood. And because
Right.
Invincible was about to be killed, that would have broken that. And so then he basically tried to intervene and then that caused the malfunction. That caused his brain to get all sorts of messed up.
So that's just one villain that we're dealing with
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah, and arguably, he's going to be one of the bigger ones because he's going to come back in the finale. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Michael, why don't you take us into the next villain of the big arc?
Yeah, I mean, like, I would just say it's the Viltrumites just in general, right? In season 2, we finally see Omni-Man. We finally see him again, and he's at Thrax. What's the planet? Thraxa.
Yeah.
Right? And, Mark goes there because he's told by, a Thraxan that there are, like, meteorites hitting the world, and, like, he's got to go save them. Long story short, it's really Omni-Man just trying to get his son back. And turns out Omni-Man also, alongside, trying to, like, meet with his son, is having a child with a Thraxan woman. Thraxans are also, like, bug people, which is, like, really kind of weird. Like, Omni-Man had sex with a bug.
Pretty much.
And now there's basically, Mark has a brother half-brother named Oliver, who we're assuming is probably going to get powers at some point. Spoiler, did not get them yet.
No.
Like, in season 2.
Don't worry about spoilers.
So spoiler, there's going to be spoilers. We're talking about season 2.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, then watch it.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
And you'll see, the title should have
Yeah.
Invincible part season 2 in there.
So we have Oliver now, who's this half-brother to Mark. We're assuming he's probably going to get powers at some point. But he also is half Thraxan, which makes him mature way faster. I mean, he's already, like, he was born, like, we know he was a little baby at the start of season 2, and now he's, like, practically already a toddler within, like, a couple episodes.
Yeah.
And he's talking and walking and, doing things at a rapid pace than a human would. And basically, the Viltrumites find where Omni-Man is. They fight Omni-Man and Mark. They end up taking Omni-Man hostage, and now we have, the issue of General Krieg. Krieg. Sorry, my bad.
Voiced by Tom Clancy, voice of Mr. Krabs, if everyone remembers that.
Yeah.
Tom Clancy Brown.
I'm thinking Rainbow Six
Tom
Siege.
Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. What's up, brother?
No, Clancy Brown, not Tom Clancy. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What's up, brother?
So now we have Omni-Man being held hostage by the Viltrumites, and Mark is now being told he has to go back to Earth, and he has to carry out what his father was supposed to be doing, which is conquering that planet, because that's what the Viltrumites do, right? They conquer planets
And make them more of their empire.
Right. Earth would be folded into the Viltrumite Empire. So now, like, we're, up till now, right, we had, like, a couple more interventions with the Viltrumites throughout the season. We had Alan get his ass completely beat and torn to shreds by them. And we'll have to get to Alan at some point.
No, that's okay. Just do a quick synopsis of him because we gotta.
Yeah. And then we meet Anissa,
A female Viltrumite.
a female Viltrumite who's actually stronger than Omni-Man and beats a living hell out of Mark, Invincible. And now, we're having to deal with the idea that, okay, the Viltrumites are probably going to come back by season 3. We didn't really get anything, like, resolute with them, nothing that's like an end-all, but we do know that Alan, the alien, is now in this Viltrumite prison where they're supposed to be executing Omni-Man, but now, he's in there with him, and I'm assuming they're probably going to, you have to assume they're probably going to be escaping by season 3. That's kind of where we ended off with the Viltrumites, for sure.
So,
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
But important to know about the Viltrumites is in season 2, but before season 2, they were always perceived to be nobody could take them down. It was basically obey or be destroyed.
Yeah.
Right.
But what we learned is Omni-Man, whose profession on Earth is a writer or a comic book writer, he actually wrote in his graphic novels of weaknesses that Viltrumites have. Like you have this guy named the Space Rider who has this large laser blaster called the Infinity Gun or something like that. That blasts to infinity, obviously.
So.
And I just want to know, it looked like they used it, actually, in that last episode. I don't know if any of you guys caught that, but they shot this, ray at Omni-Man, and it kind of, knocked him
I don't think
back.
that was it, because
It looked
all
like
those
a
little soldier guys had them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
But it did
imagine
knock
them
him
all
back.
having. I think the Infinity Gun is one of a kind.
Yeah.
And also, it would have gone to infinity.
Right.
Yeah, true. Oh, yeah, that's right.
True.
My
He just
bad.
doesn't stop. You're
Yeah.
good. But anyway, I want to we'll come back to the Viltrumite arc of it, but I know there's a lot of arcs in season 2. We're not gonna be able to touch on all of them, but we should focus right now on Invincible. We can go. Why don't we just jump ahead to the last episode, because all of season 2 was really Mark struggling with his human side and his Viltrumite side. But Angstrom Levy, back to him. What happened in this last episode?
So in this last episode, well, to give it some context, at the end of episode 7, this is the last episode before the one that came out last night. So Mark had gotten a phone call from who's supposed to be his mom, Debbie, and it says like, "When are you coming home, Mark?" And we learned that's Angstrom Levy. I made my own mistake, and he has taken Mark's mom, Debbie, as well as Oliver, his half brother, hostage at the Grayson home. And so in season 2, episode 8, season finale, Mark shows up at home, and basically there's like a big showdown in the Grayson house, right? And like you see, basically Levy is toying with him in his own house.
He's like sending Mark through different portals, and then at the same time he's like threatening Debbie and Oliver, Mark's little brother, and he breaks Debbie's arm, which is terrible.
That was disgusting, man.
Yeah, so...
It's very graphic.
Yeah, because Levy's power is that he can create portals to any dimension ever. So he just sends Mark to the world of dinosaurs that can talk, apparently. Walking Dead world.
Like Spider-Man's world. It's an alternate Spider-Man.
Do we want to do a slight touch on those references?
We're going to do a slight touch on those references.
Go ahead.
So we're going to give that to Mike. You want the honor?
Yeah, I could do it like a little bit. So I've done a bit of reading. There were a good amount of references, cameos. There was a world, like you said, that was like all zombies. And I know that was, from what I read, that's supposed to be a touch on like The Walking Dead. It used to be a comic, right, that we made into a show. I don't really know what they're going to do with that later. I'm sure it was probably just a cameo, a fun little cameo.
I think so, too.
That was pretty cool.
Probably.
They also did a cameo with what's supposed to be like an alternate like version of Spider-Man. His name is, I believe it's Agent
Spider, yeah.
So out of nowhere, like, Invincible transports into this world through a portal and just hits this guy who's called Prof Ock. It's supposed to be like
Dr.
It's like a great value Dr. Octopus.
Yeah, essentially.
So funny.
What I find so funny about that, though, is I actually read that there was a collaboration in the past, though, with Marvel, and it was Spider-Man and Invincible.
Yeah, they had the Avengers in there a bit, I think. He was like making fun of them.
Really?
In the comics, yeah.
Okay.
So, comic spoiler there, everybody, but... Yeah, basically, Mark encounters basically a dollar brand version of Spider-Man versus Doc Ock.
Yeah.
It's a very weird encounter because he's like, "Why are you attacking this old man?"
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I just saw you go through the portal, right? I've done it a bit myself, a lot more recently, actually. And don't worry, Mr. Mechanical Arms is the bad guy. I'm the good guy here.
Yeah.
Like, you have glowing red eyes, though.
Right. And I thought it was really cool because Josh Keaton voiced Spider-Man in the Spectacular Spider-Man, the animated show, and he was voicing him in there, which was really, really cool. The other ones?
There's
Batman.
Yeah, the Batman one, which
one.
is, they're showing like Batman's cape and it's Invincible kind of speaking to him, being like, "Oh, so your name is..."
Oh yeah,
what was
like
it?
so you're a man, you're dressed as a bat, and your name is... Doesn't that seem kind of lazy?
And then he gets teleported away.
Yeah, because they can't like outright say Batman because like original character stuff. They can't show him, but everyone who's watching knows. Oh yeah, he's talking about Batman.
Yeah, you can see like his little cape flapping too. Cool.
I don't want to delve too deep into it, but I don't know what's been up with this show lately. They've been trying to do like this weird like meta stuff. Like you had like the whole like comic book like thing, like the animation stuff, and now they have like the whole like cameo thing that happened in this episode.
I like that. I
think it's fun.
It puts a nice little fun twist on it.
What about the Fortnite reference?
Oh,
Which one?
yeah.
Because remember, so during the fight, Mark came back from one of the portals, and he had what is like the Ghost Reaper, like sniper from Fortnite, and whacked Levy with it.
Oh, is that what it was?
It was in Fortnite. So now it's basically canon that Invincible was in Fortnite.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice.
Nobody can I don't know if we could zoom in on this, but that's it. I think that's the funniest thing about it.
No, I didn't even notice that, dude. Because I know he whacked him with something, but that's so cool.
Yeah, and so I do want to get a bit more into the fight because I know.
Yes, I was gonna say keep moving along with that because that's.
So important. Eventually, basically after Angstrom Levy breaks Debbie's arm, that's Mark's mom again. Basically like ripped you could see the bone. It was very gnarly.
Yeah. Oof.
And so eventually Mark comes back. He sees that and he basically just loses his shit.
Yep. Berserk.
So, yeah, basically like what, like throws Levy outside the
Well,
house.
Levy actually starts beating his ass through portals.
Well, yeah, basically. So when that whole incident happened where Angstrom Levy became like a villain and became mutate and stuff, when he got like repaired, because obviously he was like, pretty damaged from that whole explosion, they rebuilt his body to be like way stronger to where he can like kick the shit out of like a Viltrumite.
Yeah.
And so basically like he's just laying him like through a portal, through dimensions, just absolutely giving a beatdown. Then they end up in like this wasteland dimension, and then he just keeps on threatening Mark's family, and he just like says no, and he just absolutely, and I'm not even trying to like exaggerate here. He like beat him to a bloody pulp.
Yeah, you're talking about Mark now?
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, Mark beat Angstrom Levy to a bloody pulp.
So I think because Mark was even saying as he was beating his ass, he's like, I've been holding back.
Yeah.
Like I think he's a lot stronger than he knows he is. So he literally just went, like you said, beat him to a pulp, like destroyed Angstrom Levy.
Yeah, and like to give some context as to how gory this was. Normally the show will show you they'll show you I don't know, someone like get shot in the head, right? But they wouldn't even show Angstrom Levy's head. Yeah. Because he basically got his head popped by this dude.
Like it was crazy because that scene of him beating the shit out of Angstrom Levy was basically how like the scene of the end of season 1 with Omni-Man beating the shit out of Mark. So it was like such a parallel with that. Obviously it was pretty obvious. It was a callback, yes.
I'm into the callback stuff, and I love the idea that they're showing that like Invincible's a lot stronger than he is. And you saw a little after that when he's kind of doing his introspection, he's like flying as fast as he possibly can. Yeah. Because he has been holding back. You could tell like in that scene as well. Like he's kind of, I don't know what the flashing colors are kind of going by. You could tell he's flying faster than he ever has, right? But me personally, I'm already a screwed up person. Okay, like I love gore and like people getting their brains blown out and stuff like that. Like, Instagram Reels has done a serious dent on our society for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It wasn't enough for me personally. Like we saw Rex like literally get shot in the head. We saw Duplicate, which we'll get to in a second.
Well, what more did you want?
I wanted to see that man's head ballooned. I wanted to see like violently like boom, 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 like his head in pieces.
I mean, yeah, he was covered in blood though, completely.
He was.
All his blood.
I mean, the impact zone of the blood was just immense. It was like aerial view. You knew what happened down there.
Yeah.
Like if we were to say how much blood it probably would have covered this entire room if Mark was doing it in here.
Probably twice over.
Twice over.
It would have been. Yeah.
It was like layers of blood.
Yeah, it's a new paint job here.
Yeah, it's red.
And we might need one.
Honestly.
And obviously, because Mark kills basically Angstrom Levy in that other dimension, he's got no way of getting back.
Yeah. Oh, and this was crucial, man.
And this is crucial.
Yeah.
I promise you, comic readers, this is crucial.
Yeah.
So basically what happens is he's just in there, he's trying to cope, like, oh my God, like, I had to do it. Like, I had to kill him because he hasn't really killed anyone before.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't want to.
And he knows, like, and now he's thinking, I'm just like my dad, I lost my shit.
Yep.
And basically, as he's just trying to cope with this, and he's just sitting there, it's like, I gotta get out of here. And then we see a portal open up, and we see the Guardians of the Globe, the new Guardians of the Globe, but they're from the future. So you see Adam Eve, you see Robot, who's actually Rex.
Rexplode, yeah.
Rexplode now. You see Monster Girl, Bulletproof, and then these two other randoms.
Yeah.
Kid, Thor, and I'm forgetting the other one. She had boxing gloves, which is like the worst thing ever. Why do we have to do that? Like, why she have boxing gloves on?
Anyway, so basically they reveal that they came back. They've been spending like 20 years trying to find Mark because in their timeline, Mark had been gone for 20 years, stuck in that dimension. And by the time they found him, he was basically gone to his own mental state. Yeah. So eventually, in this timeline, they save Mark. They send him home. But before they send him home, future Adam Eve tells Mark that she has always loved him.
Always loved him, yeah.
Always loved him. It's like,
and then what did she say? She said, you need to go back.
You need to tell her you love her. You need to tell her you don't love her. Just tell her something so that she can get on with her life. Yeah. And he's just like, you see, he's just floored. He's like, oh.
Yeah, like, what do you even do in that situation?
Like, you just killed a man, right? And like, you were stuck in this dimension. You don't know if your mother's okay. You don't know if your brother's okay. Yeah. You have these future of your friends, future selves coming, and one of your friends say, "Oh yeah, I've loved you all my life." Da 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 da. It's like,
Like, dude, I had so many things to think about, and you just added one more thing about this.
Right.
It's like, dude, can I like sit down? I haven't sat down.
This kid
this
never gets a break in the show. I'll say that. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, like you look in like the past week, like this poor kid. Then he drops out of college too.
Yeah, he drops out of college.
That's so. Anyway, he goes back to his homeworld. His mom's okay. She has a cast, and Oliver, the little brother,
Cecil
not
takes care of her.
scratch out of him. Cecil is a guy.
Yeah, we Invincible fans know who Cecil is.
Hey, yeah, you know Cecil Stedman.
Yeah.
Gnarly scar.
I just want to throw this out there because you mentioned it as well. This kid literally never gets a break. There's a Reddit comment by a user named AXB2002 on the Invincible subreddit. And he goes, so let me get this straight. Over the course of like a week.
That's what I'm talking about,
Let's
yes.
say, give or take, how time may work differently in other universes. Mark meets Alan again and learns about a war against the Viltrumites. Finally gets a day off to spend with his girlfriend. During said date, he meets another Viltrumite named Anissa that threatens to fucking kill his girlfriend. Gets absolutely molly-whooped by Anissa.
Molly-whopped.
Why do you say whooped? Whopped. Finally breaks up with his girlfriend despite them two clearly still loving and caring for each other. Gets a call from his mom that turns out to be some ugly-ass guy he doesn't even remember. Gets sent to multiple different universes thanks to said ugly-ass guy, including the fucking Fortnite universe, the Walking Dead / generic zombie universe, and a universe where he meets a legally distinct Spider-Man and Batman. Finally snaps and absolutely pummels and kills said ugly-ass guy after he sees what he did to his mom, and for a while trapped himself in a universe where everything was so desolate. Eventually makes it back to his universe, but right before a version of somebody he knows tells him that she loves him and encourages him to tell the girl of his universe something, quits college and reevaluates his whole life. Something else just to throw in there is the fact that like we meet these new like Guardians of the Globe and we know nothing. Like they've literally left us on this huge cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like first of all, why does Adam Eve have that weird haircut?
Oh,
Because she's old.
Who are these?
She's 20 years older.
Yeah,
she's
20
like,
years older.
She's like 40 at this time.
Yep.
Who are these two new characters, right?
Yeah.
You know, what is this? We don't even know what this weird desolate land was.
Where's Robot? Where'd he go?
Yeah,
Yeah,
where's
Rudy's-
Robot? Where's
Rudy?
Where's Immortal?
Where's
right?
Immortal?
And on top of that, what is this like? You know, this weird land that we're in, and why? You know, what happened to Mark in a different universe? I know they said that he loses his mind, but like, I kind of want to like, I'm sure all
I wonder
this
if
is
we're
gonna
gonna
answer.
find the next
Yeah,
season.
why don't we try to answer these, predict these questions?
Oh, before we get to that too, we do got to talk about Immortal. That was a big story.
I don't think it's
A little bit.
Okay, cool. You have to kind of open and close it real quick.
sure. Quick.
So,
Do it quick.
I'll try to do it quick. So I believe it was during season 2, episode 5. So basically, while half the team was up on Mars trying to fight a whole bunch of Sequids, that's a whole big storyline. Anyone who watched season 1, you probably know what's probably happening there. And so while they're up there, 3 of them are left on Earth to kind of defend against any threats. Explode, Duplicate, and Shrinking Ray. Long story short, the Lizard League takes over a nuclear missile base, and then they're like, oh, we're going to kick their asses, but really that doesn't happen. And what happens is Rex gets shot in the head, loses his left hand because...
What happens to Kate? What happens to Kate?
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Calm down. Duplicate gets basically smashed against whoever clones and dies, supposedly. And then Shrinking Ray gets like eaten and then spat out. It's the whole thing. And apparently Duplicate is alive. So basically everyone from that counter who we thought was dead meat is now alive.
Yeah.
And Immortal loved Duplicate, and so now they're reunited. Happy times.
Yeah, Immortal was going crazy because he thought Kate died. He went alone, and then at the end of episode 8, boom, she's back.
Yeah, because
She's been using a copy of herself.
Yeah.
yeah. So like her original has like a 0 on her chest, but like the whole Kate we've seen, Duplicate seen throughout the series has like a 1, and every copy
Oh,
is like
really?
2, 3, 4.
Oh, I
Like,
didn't
she's
know that
always
was
been
thing.
1.
Okay.
It's
that's
like,
cool.
oh yeah, it starts with 1. No, there's a 0. That's the Kate Prime. Rather. So
Interesting. I actually didn't know that little detail, but yeah, no, this Immortal's arc is definitely pretty big.
It's going to get crazy, I think, in season 3.
Yeah.
honestly,
Praying on that man's downfall for sure.
But if you guys are listening to that little rant that Michael was going on, that's literally what Mark went through in like less
span
than
of
a week.
in the show.
Like, oh my goodness, bro. And I just I've always loved the him struggling in this. Like, I mean, it's just he's trying to do his best, but he's still just a kid, bro. And he just broke up with his girlfriend on top of this. And with the whole Adam Eve thing.
Hey, this.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Someone commented, Efficient Profile 37 said, they really edging us with Eve and Mark. That's
Yeah, they really are, because
They
basically in the comics they've already been together. at
Oh,
this
really?
point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they basically had to change some stuff to make it go slower. But this is a great season if you're an Amber hater, like me. The season 1, she was so abrasive and just so full of herself. He's like, I knew you were a superhero, but still, you lied to me. Nah, 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 nah.
True.
And it's like,
it's true.
Thank you. I'm so glad Mark broke up with her.
Yeah.
And you know what? Adam Eve, hell yeah.
We're standing Adam Eve, and
this
Mark.
is for sure at Team Adam Eve podcast. I don't really think
This is Team Adam Eve. Let's go.
I wanted to see him Mark and Amber through, but now that we're shifting away from that, it's probably best that we do this. We do stand that. So I'm there with it, man. Stop playing.
They had a nice little moment, and right before the first end credits in the episode 8, where they're talking. He's like, I got 2 shoulders you can lean on. Da, da, da,
Oh
da.
yeah.
On this, what was it? Basically their version, the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were, dude. And it was just like Mark was about to say something.
Mark fumbled so hard in that. Are you kidding me?
Because I don't blame him though, because he just went through so much shit. Honestly, like how do you even tell?
He's not in a state for any
No,
of that.
and that was just dropped on him like an hour ago in that
About a day before, but still.
before.
It's like he ain't ready for anything. So last night when I was watching, I'm like, what are you doing? That was the biggest bag fumble of all time. It's like their hands were touching. It's like, dude, you were right there. She's looking you in the eye, dude. And I'm like, it probably doesn't make sense this early on. They gotta wait.
The wind was blowing in her hair.
There's that, but from what I've been reading, my personal knowledge, I think it's also just like the fact that same thing why he's not going to college, right? He's accepting this role too of I can't be a college student. It's going to be really hard to date people. I mean, look at Amber, almost died, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to
make a class.
Yeah, he's trying to learn off of his dad too. I mean, he was a terrible family man. That's your only role model, he knows I have to be a superhero, and that also means, not dating Eve at this time. Even though, she said 20 years later, tell her. So
I think
she didn't say when.
Yeah.
It was cool. I mean, I think he took the advice of his principal that one day when he's like, you got to pick something, whether it's being a student or that's doing something else.
It's Dean Winslow now.
Dean, sorry.
Dean of the college.
Dean Winslow.
But I know we're getting a big crunch on time right now.
27.
But we got to kind of see, now season 2's over.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think it's going to wait till we get to see season 3?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, actually, first?
How long did it take between season 1 and 2? Was it a year and a half, maybe 2 years?
I think
I got the official source.
I think it was 3, right?
What is your official source, Michael?
Well, one of the main producers already said they're actually pretty deep into 3, so it's gonna be a lot less time than
from 1 to 2.
Not a lot less time, but less time than it took between 1 and 2.
How
you have to consider COVID things that were happening as well. So
how long was it between 1 and 2? I'm actually curious.
A year and
was it a year and a half? Okay.
So if I'm a guessing man here, which I am, I would say we're gonna get season 3 maybe late 2024, early 2025.
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
It's not unbearable. I mean, Stranger Things is taking longer than that. So
yeah,
true.
I'm not watching that, but
that's fine. I'm on the Invincible wagon right now.
Yeah.
No, The Boys is next.
The Boys is next.
$5 says we actually also get a spinoff between now and the actual season 3 of Invincible. I would love to see an Alan spinoff. We did get a spinoff of Adam Eve between.
That was a special. That wasn't a spinoff.
Yeah, I'll take another one of those.
Give me a Rexplode special.
That would be
cool too.
That would be sweet.
Every day.
That'd be cool too.
No doubt.
I might watch it 3 times.
I could see it happening for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind either of those.
Alan, I think, is my right now, not non-invincible characters. Alan's probably my favorite. I want to see more of him.
Yeah, I've been compared to being like Alan. Michael here has been compared to being like Rexplode, but he looks like immortal. And then
do not give me an Immortal spinoff or a special. I'm literally gonna be so bad.
He is going to cry.
I can't.
Before we end it here, predictions for the next season, really quick. Anything, any arc for anybody.
Rocket and Eve get together officially.
Okay,
that's my bet.
Anything else?
For sure they're getting together. I would love to see just an explanation of this these different universes. I feel like that's gonna play into it, and I think. I mean, number one, what is happening to Omni-Man and Alan? They got to break out of there. I need to see Omni-Man, my prediction, officially a good guy, which is not my favorite thing. But my one prediction that's even more important to that is season 1 was really violent. I think season 3 is going to be the most violent because we're going to have to see the Viltrum Empire actually face off against some Alan, Mark, and Invincible. I'm sure we're going to get some other good guys on that side. So on
top of that, I want to see those books that the
Yes.
Omni-Man road come to fruition, and then a lot of that carnage
Yeah.
comes
Yep.
with the violence with Alan, Mark, and Omni-Man, the Viltrumite guy that betrayed the Empire too. Oh,
Yep.
I want to see that
Oh,
entire
yes.
war, dude.
Yes.
I got one more prediction.
Yes.
Conquest.
Cool Conquest. I don't know what that means because I haven't read the comics, but it's a comic thing, right?
Just remember the name. Conquest. You heard it from me first.
Yep.
Shout out Skyler Casellas. He's calling it Conquest.
That's
All
true.
right. Well, that will wrap up our episode of StarNotes, man. This was a great episode, huh?
I'd say so.
Pretty good.
Yes.
Good time.
We'll be here hopefully for an episode on The Boys coming out in
Yes.
June before
Yes, sir.
school's over.
Yes, sir. Let's do that.
Yes, all the Prime Video shows, man. Fire. Go watch them, check them out, you know what I mean? But as always, thank you for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.